Right, so in this question we've obviously got a right angle triangle again, right? And notice they're giving us a side and an angle as well, yeah? So when we've got sides and angles involved, we're going to use trigonometry, right? SOHCAHTOA, okay? Because it'll help us in terms of the angles as well. Now, you can see here I've already labelled this side H, okay? Because it's hypotenuse, yeah? Opposite the right angle. It's the longest side, okay? So that's what you do to start with. Always label H for the hypotenuse, longest side. Now O then, opposite is the angle, opposite the angle. So there's the angle, so opposite it will be over here, okay? And of course adjacent then would be here, because adjacent just means next to, doesn't it? And we're going to be next to the angles, that angle and the right angle, okay? So it's the one that's left over. What you do then is, we're going to underline the sides that we can use in SOHCAHTOA. Now they want us to calculate the length of DF, so I'm going to underline the O there, because that's the side I want, isn't it? I want to work out DF. And I'm also going to underline H, because I know H and I can use that information in my question. Alright, so O and H, now if we look at SOHCAHTOA, O and H, of course, is that one there, so, right? So I follow that order and I say sine of the angle 32 equals, now I go in this order, right? Opposite over hypotenuse. It's always divide, right? So it's opposite divide by hypotenuse. Now the opposite we don't know, so I'll keep it as O. Divide by the hypotenuse, which is 5.6. Now I know that. And all you've got to do then is, to get O, to get the opposite, you've got to realise I'm dividing, aren't I? Dividing by 5.6. So if we take that 5.6 over the other side, because we're dividing by it, when I take it over, we're going to be multiplying. So it'll be 5.6 times sine 32 equals the opposite, right? We get our calculator and straight away we can get our answer. 5.6 times sine 32, close the bracket there, and we get our answer to be 2.96, okay? Now we might need to round this here, so I'll write down a few decimal places to begin with. It's the opposite. And we need to call it side DF, yeah? And if you look at the question, that's sort of to one decimal place. We'll round this to one decimal place as well. So if I chop everything off there, okay, and then we're going to round this. Now, because that's a 6 here, I need to round this up. And that, of course, would round up to a 10, wouldn't it? That'll become a 10. Now, we can't write 10 there. What we do is we put a 0 there and carry the 1 in. So actually it'd be 3.0 centimetres rounded, okay? Second one, example here. So again, we do the same sort of thing. You notice this angle side, right? So we're going to call this my hypotenuse, okay, straight away, because it's opposite the right angle, okay. This is going to be opposite, of course, opposite the 62-degree angle, and then adjacent here next to the right angle and angle here. Now, it's asking for the length BC. BC is this side here, okay, which is A, and of course we know H. So A and H this time. So I always write down SOHCAHTOA. And A and H, of course, will be car, right? Cos. So cos 62. And if you go in this order, A divided by H. A divided by H. So A divided by H, which is 23.4. Okay. There's your A, there's your H, and it's always divide, remember, cos 6 of the angle equals A divided by H. So now, it's a very similar situation to last time. You're dividing by this, take it over and times. So get your calculator, and we get 10.98, okay? So, I'm going to write a few of those decimal places down. And again, we've got sort of rounding to do here, one decimal place in the question. So we'll say BC equals 10.98. So we'll do it to one decimal place, chop off that. Now that's an 8. So we, again, you know, same situation as last time. We'd have to round this up because that's an 8. You have to round it up to a 10. Okay, now if that's a 10, you put a 0 there and carry the 1. So we end up having 11.0 centimeters. This one, determine the length of x, right? Determine the value of length x. Now, again, we label the sides. This is hypotenuse, yeah, opposite the right angle. This is the O, opposite the angle given. And then of course adjacent here, next to the angles. Now I'm going to write my SOHCAHTOA down. Let's see which one I'm going to use this time. Of course, I'm going to use O because I know it, and X there is what I want, so H. O and H sine, right? So sine 20 equals, now let's follow this order here now, O divided by H, right? It's important you stick to that order, O divided by H. O, which is 8.2, divided by H. Now we don't know H, right? So I keep it as H. Right, so that's the order we've got to go in. O, yeah, O divided by H. So 8.2 divided by H there. Now this time, my unknown, my H, the letter I don't know, is on the bottom. So it's going to be a little bit more work, okay? But just like before, you know when we're dividing here, whatever we're dividing by, and that's the way you've got to think about this question, whatever you're dividing by, take it over to the side and times. So H times sine 20 equals 8.2. Okay, so that's the principle you always use. Whatever we're dividing by here, if it's a number or a letter, it doesn't matter. Take it over and times, and we've got that here. Now I want H, right? And I've got times sine 20. So you've got to think, how do I get H on its own? How do I get H equals? Well, because I'm timesing by sine 20, we can take it over, can't we? And of course the opposite of timesing is divide. So if I take the sine 20 over, I'll be dividing by sine 20. And that's what I get. It's up to you how you do that on your calculator. You could just type in 8.2 divide by sine 20. Simple as that, or you could use that fraction button. Okay, it's up to you. And we press equals and we get 23.975. I'll write all that down. So this will be my x. And again, it looks like we've got a rounding thing to do to one decimal place. So I'm going to chop that off there. And of course, because that's a 7, I round this up. And again, it's a 9, right? So I round this up to a 10. So put a 0 there and carry the 1 over. So it will be 24.0 centimetres. Okay, finally, there could be a question where they ask you to work out the angle, right? In this case here, angle x. Okay, so we're going to work out angle x using SOHCAHTOA. So let's label the sides. This is my H, of course, opposite the right angle. Angle x there, so this is the opposite side here of that angle given, and then of course my adjacent then next to the angles. So in this case, I'm going to use these two sides, because those two sides are given to me, O and A. And in SOHCAHTOA, the one with O and A in, of course, is tan. So what I do, I write tan of the angle. Now the angle is x, isn't it? So it's going to be tan x equals, follow the order, O divided by A. So O is 13.4, divided by A, which is 3.7. Now, when you want the angle, you've got to do something different, right? Because you need to get x on its own, so you need to take the tan over. Okay, so just keep the x there, you're just taking the tan over. When you take the tan over, you've got to write this, right? Tan to the minus 1. Okay? If you forget what to write, the calculator actually displays this for you, so I'll show you now. But yeah, when you want the angle, you take the tan over, tan to the minus 1 of all of this. So put it in a bracket, okay? And on your calculator then, you can see the tan to the minus 1 in yellow there, above the tan. And to get there, you've got to press shift, tan, okay? So press shift and then tan, and it brings up that yellow above. And then fraction, 13.4 over 3.7, close bracket, press equals, and we get our answer 74.6 degrees when we round.